How you doing? It's Chris Dessi, CEO of Silverback Social and producer of the inaugural Baltimore Digital Summit here during Baltimore Ad Week. And we've got a veteran. Jarrod Dicker from RebelMouse, who graced us with his presence at the last Westchester Digital Summit, absolutely crushed it there, came down to Baltimore, crushed it again for us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. So before we got on camera, we were kind of riffing on different things. We were talking about our boy Gary Vaynerchuk and how Gary's blog page is completely supported and created by RebelMouse. And we're kind of like talking about why. Why is it that a guy like Gary Vaynerchuk, who, for those of you that don't know and been living under a rock, Gary's the CEO of VaynerMedia. He used to do a show called Wine Library TV. He also is an investor in lots of tech companies and very much at the sort of tip of the spear with what's happening in digital. Why is it that a guy that has over 1 million followers on Twitter, why is it beneficial for him or even a corporation? I mean, I guess we could look at Gary almost as his own corporation. Like, why is a General Electric interested in RebelMouse, and what is the benefit that those technologies can add to a guy like Gary or a General Electric?
Yeah, no, totally.
Go.
Yes. So there's a lot of stuff that I learned over the years, and partnering with a lot of the guys who helped build Huffington Post learned. And that's really, you have a community, and you have a community that cares. And how do you get that community to create content and leverage your platform as if it was their own? Because then you have original content being created from your domain, you have them sharing content, you have them evangelizing your brand. But the ideal way to do that is not to incentivize them in any way, but really to figure out, okay, what can I give them that's gonna make it stick and have them come back? At RebelMouse, we really focused on what's the next generation social CMS. And by social CMS, I mean both sides of the coin. You know, creating original content like a Tumblr or a WordPress to be able to have rich formatting, pull in videos, create pages like Gary's doing for his articles and his website, but also how do you get that content social? And not social by sharing on Facebook and sharing on Twitter, but really getting the people who are gonna talk about your brand to get talking about that brand without being incentivized with a physical
like the real
denomination.
Brand advocates, how do you get them involved in it?
Exactly. So Gary and what we've been doing for other brands like MTV and Intel and Esquire for their mentorship program is saying, you guys have this audience. Gary V has 1.1 plus, and if I get it wrong, he'll be pissed.
He might tweet right now and be like, oh, it's 1.2, Jarrod.
Exactly. So, so he has 1 million followers that just on Twitter that love everything that he says, that are devout fans. You know, he's an amazing entrepreneur and an amazing teacher. So people really like what he says, you know, and take it, you know, as excellent advice. And what we say at RebelMouse is you have these people following you. They clearly want to engage with your content. But on Twitter, there's only a certain amount of contribution that could take place. You could reply, you could favorite, you could retweet. Same with Facebook, you could comment. So at Gary's 1 million followers, there's only so much content that he could get from them. And how does he get that to his site? So with Gary, and what the benefit is with working with RebelMouse is we say, we're gonna build you a beautiful site, the same site that you would have created by a Code in Theory or an agency that's gonna do it for you. I mean, we have the best JS developers, the best CSS developers, we can make it beautiful. But it's really about the back-end plumbing of saying, okay, once this site is live, what are the tools that are gonna reach out to your audience, get them to sign up? Once they sign up and create content for your community, how do you get them to share that content? And how do you get them to come back and want to create more and not do it on their blog.com or their Facebook and Twitter site? Right. So by social CMS, just to come full circle with RebelMouse, we are the tech architecture that's needed to get those community members to continue to come, contribute, create content on behalf of the brands and advertisers that they admire.
It's absolutely incredible. Too bad we can't pull a mic so you can drop it. I mean, That was a lot and absolutely amazing. I mean, I know when we first met, and I'd love for you to like talk a little bit about this. We were talking about the ad units and sort of taking it outside of just the RebelMouse platform, but publishers that are leveraging RebelMouse as a technology. And this was in our first meeting. We were talking about the how quickly you can change things throughout the internet by leveraging RebelMouse. By being a publisher, or maybe it's like the man of the year or person of the year, and how you change that information. Can you talk a little bit about that and why that's? I think it's kind of changing the face of the internet. It's changing the way the ad units are being served and what they look like and how compelling they are. So there's no more banner burnout. Like it's actually really relevant content.
Of course. So, as I just mentioned when I was speaking, people, there's the argument that the banner ad is dead. And it's not that the banner ad is dead. It's that the way you're doing it is dead. And the reason I came to RebelMouse from the ad side of things and the ad product side is really because of the core scraper technology that we have. So RebelMouse, when it was first born, per se, was a scraper technology. So we pulled in Facebook, we pulled in Twitter, you pull in Vine, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, any video source, Brightcove. And with our technology, we automatically scrape that URL for header, all metadata, video, and have it play within that second within the unit or within the page itself. So what we do, to your example, and what we do with advertisers is what they really love is they have total control of their media. Companies like yours and VaynerMedia are creating amazing content across Facebook and Twitter and really helping with that social presence that these brands are valuing so much, as opposed to their other creative where they're getting click-through rates and engagement rates and they just are doing it to do it. So how do you merge both? So what our technology does in working with our clients, we say that amazing content that Silverback Social is creating for you on Twitter and on Facebook, that's getting you all these engagements, that is timely and viral, and you're able to measure that in real time, you can now push in through RebelMouse technology with a drag and drop within the ad units. So companies we've worked with, GE, Mondelez, Spotify at the moment, and a few others that really say we have community, we have viral moments, we want to capitalize on these moments, we want our own dunk in the dark type campaign, but we want to make sure that when that happens, it affects all media and not just Facebook and Twitter, and that's where we come in.
Wow. I'm just going to leave it at that because that was a lot of information, and I think, frankly, it's the future of the internet. It is the future of ad units. And whoopsie. Did we do that? That's it. I mean, it's absolutely incredible because there's relevance, there's humanity to it, there's context to the ad unit, and I think it's going to be exciting to watch the RebelMouse star continue to rise.
Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thanks,
for being
Chris.
here, Jarrod. Really appreciate it, man.
It's been great.
Awesome.